And we're live.
Well, Taylor, there is a massive hurricane, I'm sure you know, impacting the east coast of the United States. It's been downgraded, I believe, to a Category 2 at this point. However, they explained that something about the winds mean that the storm surge could be equal to what they were predicting days ago when it was still a Category 4 or 5 or whatever it was. And our brave friend, Wings of Redemption, has refused to leave his abode. He is staying right where he is, stuck in spot. He had like 2,000 viewers a couple days ago, like lots of people concerned about him, getting some pretty good donations. And they're all like, dude, why aren't you leaving? And he laid out his survival plan. It was great. It was like the survival show we never got. He's like, I got 4 cases of water. We've been making soup all week. Here's a picture of the soup. Oh, he's got props. He had the ingredients for the soup. We know he's not fucking around. And they're like, how are you going to heat it up? Aha, I got propane burners. I don't need electricity to heat this soup up. He's got this, he's got that. And they're like, well, what about your home? This modular home, is it rated for hurricane winds? And he says, I've got awning braces or something like that. My home can withstand 160 mile per hour winds, I'll have you know. So I'm just going to go out today and I'm going to pick up the picnic table and anything that might be in the yard that could be thrown about, put that in the shed out back, and we're good to go. Meanwhile, I'm seeing like storm surges, 38 inches. He's like, it's never flooded here once. Like the storm surge is like cutting right in.
Like 12 feet, I think.
It's like out to where he is, like because he's 30 miles inland, out to like the flooding, the potential flooding. That's what I should have said.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy. It
says 80 miles an hour can break windows, and so double that is, I'm no hurricaneologist, but it's going to do more damage if it's double the window breaking
More,
speed.
You say? Okay.
I would say close to double the damage.
I don't know, actually. Probably more.
Yeah, probably exponential, really, if you're
guessing.
thinking about it, because as soon as you're able to pick up a car and hurl that into something, like you're capable of destroying anything. So
let me.
Yeah, you should probably not be in Myrtle Beach or whatever area
really
he is
shouldn't.
near that. That's pretty
he's near Myrtle Beach, for people that don't know. I grew up 2 blocks from the beach. I know a little about hurricanes, I think, because of that. I used to get school days off for evacuations and things. And where I currently live, some people worried about me. You don't have to worry about me. Like Raleigh is kind of where you evacuate to right now, not where you evacuate from. But Wings, on the other hand, is where you evacuate from. And I don't know exactly where Conway is, but there's just a lot of like low-lying area on this part of the coast. If you're 30 miles in on Jersey, you're probably like 60 feet in the air or something like that. But that's not true. It's all like swampland and stuff inland on this part of the country. So
because it's really the flooding that you fear more than the winds and stuff. It's like oh shit, I'm out of water.
He said he lives on a hill. And if he does, then maybe that's the thing. Like I live on
a hill.
You've
been there.
I don't remember the like elevation change though.
Look, not to dispute Wings on measurements or numbers or anything like that, but if that's a hill, I live on a mountaintop. All right, and it's not a hill. It's all flat, low-lying area, sandy soil, sort of already more wet, inundated with water to some extent. It seems like the danger zone to me. I'd probably take a little road trip, pack up my gear, and go inland somewhere, get an Airbnb for a week or something like that. But
$65 a night motel, Kyle. That's the move you make here.
I can see why you wouldn't do it. Like, I don't live in that area of the country, but if I did, I could see why I would resist relocating if I'm like, every year they tell me to relocate, and then every year they downgrade, and I'm fine. And if I relocated, I regret it. And if I stayed, I'm like, my internet didn't even go out. Like, I can definitely see how you would be tempted to stay, but
the other side of it is,
but I'm from the middle of the country, so I fall for all of this. Like, it's the new biggest storm, and I'm like, it might be. Like,
the other motivation is like, you don't know what state your house is, so you're wondering, when they evacuate you, and then they don't let you come back forever. Like 2 weeks later, they're still like, no, we don't want to be having to rescue you, and you're like, motherfucker, it's sunny out now. The water is still, if anything, I want to see my house. I need to know what's up. I'm just living. I could be home all this time. Instead, I evacuated and I can't check out my stuff. It sucks. So
That's what happened last year with my dad. Like I've said, bought a place off like close enough to Tampa, and last year I don't remember what storm, but it was like going right through there. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, you worried about your house?" This is like before, and I was doing it like tongue in cheek. So I don't fucking know. He's like, "Yeah, it really sucks. Just bought a house there, and looking like it's gonna get destroyed." And I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like,
Shit.
"Yeah, that's what it looks like." And then it ended up like veering way off in like the Gulf or some shit, and didn't do anything, and so it was fine. But yeah, I'm glad I don't have to deal with this every year. Wings, if you're listening, if you still have time, and it's starting to look actually no, you don't
Flee
have
for
time
your
anymore, right?
lives.
I'm
Like you
looking
don't
at
have time anymore. It's over, right? Evacuation time is done. Like it's hitting.
so Kyle showed windy.com, one of my favorite sites. It's a paramotor thing too. But he's showing, I guess, the path of the hurricane, or maybe a moment in time. What is this, tomorrow afternoon, I'm betting?
It looks like the Predator vision. It's like they don't even bother with like the blues and the yellows necessarily. It's just all white, which is like the worst, I think.
Yeah,
and
I
like
didn't even know
bright
white was a
pink,
thing.
magenta, and orangey red. It looks rough. And look at all those lightning bolts.
Yeah. If you can't
Oh,
see,
those are lightning bolts. I thought that was like a textured speckling on the design.
If
No,
you-
okay.
if you can't see, the dot is on Conway. It's kind of hard to read Conway because the dot is there. But Wings is like right in the middle. The only way he could be worse is to move a little closer to the beach.
Yeah, like
he's in a
what is
spot.
that? 3.48 inches of rain is what's come down there so far, I guess,
I think that's.
or how much they're expecting.
I don't know how to
come
read
down?
this. Maybe it's an hour.
It
like
looks like Kyle has this set for 5 a.m. on Sunday. Yeah, so I'm a little confused. What does it look like on Saturday? Maybe I should open Windy. I already have it open, of course.
the real question, Woody, if shit gets bad and Wings is able to get the word out that help me, I've sandbagged myself into my office. The water level
I've
is.
piled up my silk clothes at the front
Yes.
door to defend myself.
I'm just it's just me and squeaky chair and gangster grandmas on my shoulders, and like we don't know what to do. Like we can't fit out the window, obviously, and we've sandbagged our way into my bedroom. Will the Nighthawk swoop in and save him? You now have your tandem rating. You could swoop in and save Wings of Redemption.
This doesn't
To
work
give
on
him-
so many levels. Like you can't fly a paramotor in that kind of weather. You're not allowed to fly anything. If you don't know, during these rescue and evacuation options, they tell everyone, like, you can't fly your drone there. You can't fly your paramotor. They're like,
You get sucked like 4 miles into the air and freeze to death.
no, there's helicopters and shit that need that airspace clear. They can't have
Oh,
your
okay.
recreational jackass flying around.
Recreational. This is a life-saving mission by the Nighthawk.
And I don't have tandem gear. And if I did, Wings would be a really challenging passenger.
You've got toe straps. Let's go.
toe strap. Oh, just to bring him off the ground. It's rough. So I'm just showing everyone on screen right now the path of the hurricane. And if you don't know, Wings is right about here. So it looks like in the early period is where he gets it rough. It's going to peak for him Friday night and Saturday morning.
It's gonna suck no matter what. Even if like nothing bad happens, like no wind damage or flooding, he's almost certainly gonna be without power for an extended period of time. Which is, I can't tell you, like that's such a big inconvenience when you don't have electricity. Like I lost electricity a couple years ago for maybe 4 or 5 days or something like that, and it was awful. It was awful. I'm like driving over to my parents' house to take showers so I can have hot water. I'm like, no internet, obviously. Can't charge the phones. Just in the car, listening to XM radio and charging my phone out there. It was awful.
Part of the issue is that most of the time these hurricanes, they either come up the coast or they kind of rush into land. Like when they do make landfall, they curl in and then they leave. This one, there's a high pressure system kind of messing with its path. So it lands almost on the coast of North Carolina, goes back down, which is abnormal, and then comes into South Carolina and then works its way inland. By hovering in this spot, it's going to dump so much more rain than most hurricanes do because they don't usually linger from Friday to Sunday in the same area. And that's the challenge. So
Well, we'll see. I'm sure we'll, he'll be streaming. I'm sure up until the point where his power goes out or whatever. So we'll know what's up over there. It'll be cool to see.
yeah, I wish I have enough like UPSs and stuff here to survive about 30 minutes of power outage. Like I could just keep going with the show for about that long. I wish Wings did. I wish there was like a little countdown timer and the beeping in the background as his stream wound down towards the power outage.
Or if he had ever done that thing that I was suggesting years ago, where he's powering everything with a bicycle, like he's pedaling.
Go green. Yeah.
That would be so cool.
That would take a lot of energy.
Is Raleigh a city that gets hit ever by this, or is it like it's too far in? We kind of know the drill.
Yeah, it got hit a while ago. It was actually the year before I moved here. Hurricane Irene, maybe something like that, in like 98 or 97, and it beat the shit out of Raleigh. But it's pretty rare. I mean, I'm pulling up a 20-year-old example.